Magic Online is the only place you can find 181 players playing for an RC invite with vintage cards. All right, welcome back, vintage gamers, to the first Super RCQ of 2026 for Vintage. This is a large vintage tournament, 170 plus players, where the top 4 are invited to the regional championship in their area in May or April of 2026. Also, lots of treasure chests and other goodies on the line. These used to be Pro Tour qualifiers. That's how I qualified for the Pro Tour a couple times, playing Vintage. But theoretically, I can top 4 this and then go play in an RCQ maybe. I haven't actually ever played in an RCQ. Kind of stopped doing that circuits when I started doing more vintage streaming. But either way, this is basically my stock version of Lurrus PO. I spent some time yesterday thinking about what I wanted to do in approaching this event. Did I want to change anything? Did I want to, do anything different? And the answer was no. This deck does exactly what I wanted to do, and it combats the format in the exact way that I wanted to combat the format. It's very good against people registering mono white initiative in large non-vintage or vintage tourist heavy events. It has good game against every deck in the format and will give you the ability to play towards your strengths. And so there's nothing changed here. It is definitely more mono white heavy than previous builds I have. I'm on 1 opal, 2 swords, dress down chain, Soul Guide Lantern in the main to give you some semblance of a chance versus Dredge in game 1. But the over encumbers have been fantastic in games 2 and 3 versus Dredge. I have no Hexing Squelcher in my deck because I don't think that card is very good and doesn't help you versus the matchups that you really want it to. And the matchups that you do think you really want it is those are very small percentages of the field. I want my deck to be good against blue-black Lurrus and a mono-white initiative, and at least playable against Dredge, and that's what this deck does. So I will see you in this 8-round vintage Super RCQ. Looking to play some paper vintage? The next full proxy ELD vintage opening is happening in Bellingham, Mass on February 1st. I'll see you there. Okay, welcome to round 1 of our 8-round Super RCQ. We're up against a possible mono white initiative player, so good start already to our metagaming. I'm going to try to play slower than normal and talk to chat and make content less during my matches to give myself the best chance of winning. I do want to win one of these, though I do care more about the showcase coming up in 2 weeks, but RCQs are fun, high stakes, large vintage events. This hand looks good. And no Chancellor. I will force this Mana Crypt, assuming my opponent is on mono white. Still have a Void Mirror after this. Saga Gaming. Interesting. Maybe Raker Shops then. Could still just be mono white. Could be Jewel. So this looks like big blue Tezzeret, maybe? Interesting. So my opponent currently does not have the mana to cast any of their spells because we countered Mana Crypt, but if they do get a mana on their next turn, they can start casting Stock-Ups and Tezzerets, and we will be behind. Well, I mean, it makes sense to not play Jewel when you can play Stock-Up. Like, isn't that just better? All right. So I don't think I'm going to go Merchant Scrolling for a force right away here. I think I would rather get this Thundertrap Trainer in play, especially if I can find like a Flame of Venor and attack their mana. There's a Flame of Venor. I also have a Moxen though, so Moxen puts me on the ability to PO for 3 next turn, which is quite strong. But if my opponent hits a mana, they're gonna cast Stock Up. Damn. It's already a really hard choice. I think I'm supposed to play to my PO. Which does make me regret not pitching my Merchant Scroll rather than my PO, but they drew Time Vault? Okay. That is a problem. If I had taken Flame, then I'd have a really strong answer for this. I can Merchant Scroll, but I can't play Flame off the Merchant Scroll. I can Merchant Scroll for a Chain, but I might not have the blue mana to cast it. This is the curse of Gitaxian Probe, knowing what your opponent drew. Oh, that's probably just game winning. Okay, so now I can do anything. I'm going to PO for free, and then I can Merchant Scroll for an answer if I need to. Looks like I will need to. Opal was a good draw there. It's kind of why I like playing more than one Opal in my deck, but... so... I could just... I think I just, fetch and trainer. So I can just Merchant Scroll for a Flame and just have Destroy up. And then they probably just go for Stock Up or something. I feel like that leaves me in like kind of a bad spot. I could just go for a PO. But there's no guarantee I'm alive at the end of that. Yeah, I really actually have strong regrets now about pitching that PO to Force instead of Merchant Scroll. It didn't make sense at the time to keep the second PO, but... I just like don't know that. So like if I Merchant Scroll, they know I get Flame. They don't get Key because they don't even need to get Key. They can get mana to play Tezzeret. And so if they get mana and they play Tezzeret and then they just like play a slower game, I have to use my... I mean, I don't have to use my Flame. I could then untap, play Thunder Trap Trainer, and then use my Flame, I guess. So maybe it's just fine. I guess they could draw Flusterstorm. I don't think I'm allowed to play around that. This plays around Force Draw at least. All right, so I have the Time Vault covered for a turn here. See what happens. I assume my opponent's going to go for a mana and then Tezzeret. But Tezzeret runs into like a Force or something. Maybe I shouldn't play Bobble because I'm showing that I don't have a Force. They're just going for PO, or they're just going for Stock Up. The question is going to be like, at end of turn, am I firing off this Flame of Anor? Or I could cantrip my Vexing Bauble. So we know they have Tezzeret PO +1 in hand, and they have a spin. I could go to my turn, play a Thunder Trap Trainer, and use Flame of Anor on Time Vault. They are actually like going towards a PO though as well. My 4th is currently for 8 damage. I think I am just supposed to take them off of this option and then try to play my own game plan here. Like I'm looking for a PO on a trainer or something like that. Time walk. There's a PO. There's a time walk. Don't think I have a good time walk 4th here. I didn't hit a Tolarian, so I only have 5 mana. So it's more likely that we want to do... do I still want to play a Vexing Bauble to turn off the ability for my opponent to search for a force? Probably. And then I guess I will cast a trainer. Ancestral is probably better than stock up just because of the mana, and I already have a stock up. And let's look at their top card. It's a Ruby. I still have Snap Time Walk as well if I need to. Also, at some point I can drop Bobble if I find like extra forces or something. Okay, they're just off it. That was kind of a close game for a game that I don't feel like should have been very close. The Time Vault draw was problematic for sure. Guess I should have just taken Flame, huh? Damn. Okay. Starting off strong. Like Flame had uses outside of the Time Walk draw, the Time Vault draw, but okay. I have pretty good cards here. Pyros, Consigns, Negations, and Traps. Can theoretically bring in Portable Hole if that's something I'm looking for. I don't need an island. I don't need swords. Even if they're bringing in or have Hull Breachers, I have access in Pyroblast and Flame. I don't like Lantern. I do still like Bauble. I think keeping a dress down is good. I don't know that I need access to Chain, but having access to Chain for Karn has always been kind of nice. So I think what I'll do is I'll cut the Sync and keep the Chain. And it looks like I'm just not going to play these Portable Holes. I need to pick one more Magic card. I can probably cut 4th Eralingas in this matchup. No, I don't like Breach. I've never really liked Breach. Playing the good deck today, not the content deck. I think I could just cut 4th and play Control. I think if I had to guess, my opponent is on like the no props list, but we'll see. Okay. This hand is certainly fine if I get to untap. It's pretty bad against Tezzeret, though. I don't think I'm putting this back. Jesus, okay. It's probably not a good sign. Oh, they have 1 rings. Okay, that's really bad. I don't think we're beating that. That was not... So it's just Jewel then with stock ups or something? It's not clear. They don't have any follow-up land. Hmm. All right, I mean, I don't have 4th Airlingas, so it's going to be kind of hard to beat this Jewel, this ring, but... Okay. Didn't really want to jam my stock up into a force, but I didn't really have a choice. I did not expect to get ringed after seeing stock ups, but they're still out on... here's the island. Tezzeret. Okay, so I mean, we're just dead. Had to mulligan. I mean, if like they had a force backup, then we were just dead die no matter what. I don't have like needles and stuff in my deck, so... I mean, this is like, I have good draws here, but the problem is even if I PO combo, like, I don't have a 4th, which is pretty rough. Also, none of these are consigns. Namo Time Vault. Okay. I guess I will dress down to see if I can draw a force. Negation would be pretty good here. Stock up. Okay, I will play this out, see more of the deck, and get more, and make them find another ring here. Oh, wait, they already used their Tezzeret this turn? Okay, so I guess I'm not dead. Oh, no, they just were going to second main for some reason. Okay, cool. Fantastic. The problem is, like, I can't, like, consign a ring or anything. Like, if I had a consign for a ring, then I could, like, at least make a play. So is this just Jewel? Or, no, it's not Jewel. It's got islands and stock ups. Did the no props list have... I guess the no props list had rings in it. I just didn't see them. No, it had POs. But we saw PO. So where the hell did this list come from? We haven't seen an Ancient Tomb yet, right? We haven't seen a workshop or an Ancient Tomb. Am I missing a ring in this deck? I'm like looking at this deck really hard to find a ring, and I just don't see a ring. I'm gonna play it all the way out just so we know like what the fuck's going on here. Yeah, but you can't really play one ring without having Ancient Tomb or Workshop. Oh, okay. It's the Murktide River region deck. Okay, fair enough. All right. So I remember playing that deck. That deck has Ancient Tombs, if I recall correctly. Does that change anything? No, it just makes my consigns better, right? It doesn't actually change anything. Unfortunately, it means that, like, I think that my opening hand was, like, totally fine, and I just got, like, super varianced, because turn 1 ring is not super common from their deck. Holy hell, man. What are these hands? I'm just not gonna get to play the game. Super unfortunate. It's certainly my best hand. I want to put the stock up back so I can probe. They didn't mull. They kept 7. Tezzeret, Island, Soul Ring, Tolarian, Dispute, Pearl, 1 ring. So they have turn 1 ring again with no dual, like no Ancient Tomb, just Tolarian Academy. Great. I mean, they can just wait and they can just go turn 1 Tezzeret with Mystical Dispute back up. I'm just dead. Doesn't matter. I don't know. We played a great game 1. Game 2, I kept a slower hand and got turn 1 ringed. And then game 3, I mulliganed to Oblivion and lost. What am I going to do? They actually went for the 1 ring and not Tezzeret with Mystical Dispute backup. It's weird. I mean, I'm dead. Doesn't matter. Okay. My opponent's just gonna go Tezzeret into Vexing Bauble and we can't play the game. Oh, they went Sensei Stop, sure. I just like can't cast a spell through this Mystical Dispute though. Like, what chat? How am I resolving a spell? What are we talking about? Like, please be based in reality. So we get disputed, so then we just have to hope we don't get PO'd on their turn. It's kind of asking for a lot, but all they have to do is spin into an action spell and we lose the game, chat. Like be serious. They don't have to spin into an action spell. They can just draw the action spell. Nah, we're playing Liquid Metal Coating. Sure. The chain is on the... Well, the chain was on the bottom. I guess it's back now. But the chain doesn't even help me, so it doesn't even matter. They're not even, like, drawing with top to keep their Tezzeret alive or anything. Like, I think they're, like, not maximizing their deck's potential, but it just doesn't matter. We just lost because we mulliganed. Basically impossible for our 5-card hand to beat their 7-card hand on the play. So like the only real choice I had was game 2 mulligans in game 2. I don't know, man. Like, I feel like this matchup is incredibly good. I have Consigns and Pyroblasts and Trap. And I won game 1 and I got to cut my bad cards, so yeah. I just can't. Nothing goes right for me anymore. I can't get any kind of wins going. This doesn't matter, man. It's completely irrelevant. I can just plus this card until the end of days. Get me out of here. Yeah, I don't know. I think I generally like what was going on in that game, and just didn't work out. Okay, here we go. Round 2. We're up against someone who I don't believe this account at least doesn't have any vintage records. Could be a Smurf. Don't know. No companion reveal from the opponent, which makes this hand worse, but it's still a keep. Like double Mox and stock up. Ah, of course, bizarre. Makes sense. That's not good. But this is a hand I would keep against Bizarre, so. If I was on the play, getting a Saga down early would be nice. I guess if I get Grief, it's fucking... I am going to get a Saga down early. All right. We will not be stocking up. We will be going to the Saga. Buying a cap. I doubt my cat and my Saga will be fast enough to get my Soul Guide Lantern, but maybe I'll draw Time Walk or something. And a hollow one, huh? Seems good. Dead card. Not bad. The first blocker is a 3/3. It's kind of unfortunate. Upkeep, activate. Thug. One Amalgam, one Narcomoeba. Not good. Triple Noxious. Triple Dredger. Dredge. 5. Another Amalgam. So this hits me for... Oh, and double Bazaar. Okay. So 7 card, double Bazaar, Grief, hollow one. Not bad. Not bad. So I have 1 turn to win here. I don't even know what I could draw to win the game here. Probably needs to be like Ancestral into Opal PO or something. Cool. I died. Turn 3'd on the draw, on the play. Well, I've got Over Encumbered, and I've got Soul Guide Lantern. Got an Island I can take out. Trust Down I can take out. Chain I can take out. Mist Up I can take out. I guess I'm going to bring in some Pyroblasts to get more cards out here. Probe I can take out. I think Swords is okay. Buying time versus the deck is good. I don't want a ton of Swords, but I think having some Swords is okay. Go with this. When will the winning start? Maybe next week. Maybe the week after. Doesn't seem like the winning is starting anytime soon today. Sand sucks. This hand is also not very good. I think I just keep this because I do have stock up into Over and Encumber with a Force. It's my anti-dredge tech. I wouldn't say it's mine, but it's the anti-dredge tech I've been using. All right, 6 card on the draw keep for my dredge opponent this time. See how that goes. Chill. Hollow one is fine. We have over encumbered. Passing with 4 cards. Trainer. All right, well, I will cast stock up. Delta Crypt. I could take Fluster. Yeah, I'm gonna take Fluster. Delta Fluster. I'm gonna, like, as long as I take as little damage as possible, the over encumbered should be good enough. And so as long as I can't die to chills, and I need to take as little damage as possible to not die to chills, though 1 chill's already gone, so not the strongest dredges from my opponent either. And I think they might have at least 1 piece of counter magic. They pitched a negation there. I also don't want to play into Mindbreak Trap there, so I think it makes a lot of sense. Second Bazaar again. Okay. I mean, this is good for me because this over encumbered should be lights out. I can't imagine losing from this spot given the current configurations. I like what I chose to do here. This is like the perfect spot for over encumbered too. I really like this. It's good deck building from my side. I'll just bin that. All right, I will over encumber you. All right, so there's 3 chills and I'm at 15 and I have basically a bajillion pieces of interaction to keep this over encumbered alive. So I'm pretty much just locked to win this game. Well, my opponent can't attack. So that means that they can't kill me. The only thing they can do is chill. Whereas Tabernacle, they can Icarus attack through it. All right. I like taking the Fluster Storm off that stock up. I think that was a really good choice. There's the 3 chills, but I only go to 6. Oh, opponent hit a fucking Riftstone portal. So now they can crack these. Wow. That's good deck building from the opponent. I can't do anything until I find a Soul Guide Lantern then. Let's see. What is this? So they have a hollow one though. So they still have to pay hollow one. So they can crack the junk token for free. And then they need 2 turns to crack the 2 clues. They only need to crack 1 clue because they can pay 2 for hollow one and okay. Oh, I mean, Riftstone Portal. I mean, Riftstone Portal doesn't normally get you out of this, but my opponent drew double Bazaar, so. All right, I mean, we can still win this game. We just need a Soul Guide Lantern. And we have lots of ways to get there. Yep. So the junk token's gone. So we have 1. We also have like a blockers and removal. So I guess we don't really have that because Icarus will come in. Okay, so we have 1 turn here. We only have 1 turn, two draws to find Lantern, because next turn they can crack 1, and then the turn after they can pay. But I think it's fine. We have 2 Lanterns, and we can go like 12 cards deep. It's pretty good chances. Riftstone Portal was not a card I was expecting, and it seems like it works really well here. I don't think in general it would work very well, because you would still need to have 2 Bazaars for it to work, but they do have 2 Bazaars, so. Ancestral Recall is also a pretty good one. Do I start with that, or do I start with stock up? I start with this? I don't really know. Lotus. This is also Lurrus. Is it worth it to play Lurrus? I don't think Riftstone Portal is actually a card that beats over encumbered in the majority of cases, chat. It's just because there is exactly 2 Bazaars in play. I could just double kick Trainer. But I have a turn no matter what, right? So I think I should just go Lurrus then. Also, this will help me maybe live through an attack. We can also just like PO combo our opponent as well. I think I'm just going to take both Mox in here. I already used my land this turn, shot? Or no? I don't think I have. I mean, both Mox in is still better than having a land, though. I just want to dig as fast as I can, as deep as I can. There's like no way I don't make it through here. Or I can get a second over encumber. That'll buy some time. Oh, that's true. We could PO the over encumber to get more tokens. That's true as well. Yeah, I think we're still winning this game, but it was a kind of a cool little interaction here. The fact that my opponent has a hollow one in play is the reason that we don't lose, because the hollow one is an artifact that adds to the over encumbered count, which I think is beautiful. We would actually be dead in this game if my opponent didn't have a hollow one, which is pretty funny. Yeah, I don't think they have any way out of this now. Damn, that was pretty cool, though. They have 0 chills left. They used 3 and they had discarded 1 on turn 1. Yeah, POing back over encumbered to buy more time is kind of funny. They're going to activate Bazaar. What does that do for them? I don't understand. I don't think that does anything. Well, maybe they felt like they had to give up on cracking because they saw that I have an over encumbered off of trainer. Yeah, I don't know what dredging here is doing. I actually missed on a soul guide, by the way. I didn't even fetch for it or anything. Just gonna suicide this Lurrus. I don't think there's anything that I can die to, but like, because now I have access to double over encumbered, or I can rebuy them with PO. So my opponent has 4 turns, or 5 turns, or 4 turns, I should say. That was a pretty cool game, though. The fact that they weren't instantly dead is pretty funny. Making me look like a fool. They're going to put a Bazaar of Baghdad on the top of their library. I don't actually think that matters. Like, I don't think a 3rd mana changes the math here, right? I mean, if they had Dread Return, we have Force, so it's not like a big deal. Yeah, I don't think this changes the math at all, so... This turn, I'm just going to PO and replay my 2 over encumbrance. Do I want to change anything? No. Not really. I didn't even see any Soul Guide Lanterns because I didn't draw any Soul Guide Lanterns. No, this is what I want. I don't think I want more Swords of Plowshares. Doesn't seem necessary. You don't want to gum up your hand with Swords of Plowshares, typically. This hand is not great, but it's a guy to do. Somehow I feel like this 4th Aerlingus is going to draw my opponent cards. Well, I just like don't think we care about turn 1 Hollow 1. I think that's a misevaluation of the matchup. That's not a card I care about very much. No Dredgers from my opponent. 3 cards in their hand. So maybe I can use the swords as bait to resolve Lantern and then just have Lurrus. Oh, I probably was not supposed to. That's fine. It did not work as bait. I guess it doesn't get trapped, but I think that's fine as well. I'm going to buy Lurrus here, not play Lantern. They don't have a Dredger right now, so I'm not particularly worried. I kind of want to hit the Lantern and hit the Dredger too, so... Though I kind of think they probably have a counterspell. If they have negation for Lanterns, pretty annoying. If they, like, miss on a Dredger here, I can probably cast 4 Theralingas instead. We see. This is like a very low power Dredge keep, so we got a little lucky finally. Their 6-card keep was a little low power. Grief, Negation, Vigor was their pitch cards, and they have second Bazaar. Okay, they're going all in on second Bazaar. This game's over. So they had an interaction-heavy double Bazaar hand, which doesn't really work. You need to have a double Bazaar Dredge hand. They have an Imp there, and they have a hollow one. Yep, this game is over. I actually can draw with this because they have nothing of value in their yard. Kind of fun. Oh, yeah, they don't have a choice. They have to keep every hand that has a Bazaar. But, you know, like sometimes that means that their hand doesn't really work. That is the price of playing this deck. I think what I'll do is crack Lantern, replay Lantern, whatever, play Mana Vault, and play a big 4 Theralingas and leave 2 back. All right. They didn't want to see it. I do think the Dredge matchup here is quite playable now. The main is still rough, but you do have ways to win with Soul Guide. But I do like how over-encumbered plays against the current builds of Dredge. You know, as long as they're not going for the combo Dredge, it's a really big haymaker. So that's good deck building. Okay. Round 3. Possible Oath opponent. That's at hand. I accept. These are the hands I want to see. Looking for like a force blue card off of this stock up. That is that is not very good. I will take the 2 blue cards. Well, the good news is I don't have to draw those cards. The bad news is I didn't hit anything good. Let's see what opponents got for us. If it's Orchard Oath, then we can buy a turn. Oh, it's just Delta Go. Interesting. What does their last Oath list look like? That's a force. One Flusterstorm. 2 negation. No, I'm gonna just cast Lorien Revealed. Neither of my spells play around Flusterstorm, so... And, I mean, I could just wait. I could just PO for 2 on the end step. Maybe that's better. That's probably just better. PO for 2 is, like, so bad compared to PO for 3, but... Playing into Flusterstorm is, like, also really bad, so... PO for 2, like, just makes you feel bad, but it's definitely not a bad play here. Orchard. Probe. Look at my hand. Only Las Vegas Chaos is allowed to do that. No, 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 no. You don't want to get a Surveil here because you can draw into Flusterstorm. It's fine. Don't worry about it. You also want to be able to play Swords to Plowshares on their turn on the Orchard token to buy yourself another turn. I see. That's annoying. I guess I'm just forcing that. I mean, I don't have to, but like I need to be able to play my stuff back after, so. Force backup. God. Pitching Atraxa. POing for 2 is like pretty bad here. But POing for 1 is probably worse. Maybe I just needed to pitch a PO to this. So I could have untapped and cast Lorien. Yeah. Yeah, no, I probably should have done that. I think I want to pick them both up. All right, well. You've successfully resolved Vexing Bauble. I think that's okay from this spot. Do I play out Mana Vault? Lets me go for a PO, right? The only way that's bad is if my opponent was holding negation. Oh, I think jamming Lorien into like past the turn Delta on turn 1 from Oath is just like pretty bad. I don't like that very much. I think we're just gonna pass from here. Oh, I don't think cracking the fetch matters much at all. Like, I'm not really worried about that. All right, I can buy a full turn by swordsing this, and I'm looking at I'm looking at going for a PO anyways, so I think that's fine. Cool. I also have looping dress downs. No worries, I remember. I guess I can't play Lurrus right away if I want to stop the thing from happening, so I think that's fine. I shouldn't have, yeah, this is fine. I'm gonna buy myself some turns here. I could like go deeper, but I don't Well, let's see what my top card is, I guess, because I could draw into it with Dress Down. I just don't care about that card. All right, I will just Swords this. Two cards left in my opponent's hand. I have another sword, so I can wait another full turn if I want. That's pretty good. I think we'll just start going then. There's a PO. There's a Jet. I don't think I want to stock up. I think I just want the mana here. There's like no chance that this doesn't resolve, so there's a Time Walk and a fourth. All right, got there. Oh, pretty clean cut game of PO. Love to see that. Here we have Pyroblast, Triple Portable Hole, and Negation Trap. Get to take out Swords, Soul Guide Lantern, Opal, Island. Bauble. Maybe the second Bauble. I think this deck is quite good. You have great plans against everyone. No, I don't like shaving a PO. I want to have blue cards. I want to have power. I'm just like making myself a little less susceptible to No Rod, taking out some dead cards like Swords and Island. Not really worried about playing creatures into Oath with 3 portable holes, but I also like am not convinced that Lurrus will likely be my game plan, so I don't feel like I need to make the Lurrus plan super strong. No, I don't want to bring in Consigned to Memory. I don't think that's the avenue you're trying to fight over. Is Library of Alexandria not playable anymore? It's pretty tough because in most games of Vintage, you are using your Force of Wills very early and getting off of Library. So, and also Wasteland is super prevalent and super broken. I don't think Library is as unplayable as everyone says it is, but I don't think Library is a very good card, and I wouldn't be playing it now. Like, there are just, like, not matchups in the format that you would want to have a library against. Like, the only library matchup, like, I could even theorize is playing, like, Breach versus Breach, like, full control Breach versus Breach. And even then, you can't do that because you need to hold up blue for mana drain. Okay. Well, I don't have a turn 1 counter spell, which I like to have against my opponent's deck type, but I can't imagine ever putting this back. We get Vexing Bauble, we die, but that's okay. It's not good for us. Sapphire start. Brainstorm. Sapphire. Every muck Sapphire start from anybody is always a bad sign. Fetch land. 4 cards in my opponent's hand. That's not good. That's a Vexing Bauble. Could be a Soul Ring, I guess. There's like very few things this could be. Oof. Are they going to fetch and stock up? No. Okay. Interesting. Mind Twist is not a very powerful card. So is this fetch Ancestral on my upkeep? Okay. Great start from the opponent. What do you got in your 5-card hand after? Mind Twist is a cool card. No one's, yeah, but like not a very good card. I got Mental Missteps. Stonks. Force Trap Lands. I like Force and Lands. So now the question becomes... Stonks? PO and Force? All right, I mean, that was a really good turn 1 for me, too. We didn't get to see my opponent's hand with Probe, which is unfortunate, but we have 2 forces, which is nice. Show and tell. Stock up. I don't think we're at liberty to counter stock ups here. We're just like a little too far behind for that. I mostly wanted to have the options, Ajad, of picking Pyroblast off of my second stock up. That's why I took Volcanic. Like, I'm always going to use my Ruby to cast the stock up. And, like, I still have options of, like, Clarion Academy and stuff. Like, yeah, I want to have a Tundra so I can draw into Portable Hole, but, like... My opponent also can hard cast Atraxa off of 1 more land here. All right. I think my opponent's opener was better than mine. Like double on Sapphire into Brainstorm with a fetch land into Ancestral into stock up. Like that's a better opener than my opener. But is this Gaia's Blessing, Ancestral, Time Walk, Thoughtseize? You got it. That's it. 3 cards left in my opponent's hand. Mox is probably my best draw. It's not a very good one. Pretty sure I'm just playing a PO here for 2 into anything they have. See. This resolved the first time, so no way I'm not doing it again. Trying to find if there's a better line than going scroll for something. I don't think so. Probably just getting an ancestral. This ruby is nice. That was a really strong turn from me. I think I lucked out a little bit in terms of the cards I drew. I drew what? Sapphire. I drew Sapphire. Now I can let every oath resolve, so that's nice. I overdrew here, but that's fine too. Don't think that matters very much. I think the card that matters the least is Saga. Could be second portable hole, actually. My opponent didn't play an oath that turn, and they're milling over Orchard, so I think I'm just going to get rid of... I mean, I'm going to win with this game with 4th Erlingas, not Saga. I mean, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll win this game with Saga tokens. We'll get rid of portable hole number 2. There's a very real chance that I just pass the turn with a Saga next turn and go for Saga lethal. They also might think that I don't have the white. I mean, I also can't play 2 portable holes in the same turn anyways. 3 cards left in my opponent's hand. Black, green, Chains of Mephistopheles. Yeah, I don't care about that. We're past that point. I would Pyro. Yeah, we're past Chains of Mephistopheles mattering. Would have been pretty decent on the previous turn, but okay, I immediately drew PO. Classic. So I have a max 5 4th Erlingas. My opponent has 2 cards in hand. I think I am just going to go with 2 turn 4th, which is 4. Perfect. 3 is 6, 4 is 8. Yeah. I mean, we could like just not pick up the PO, and I just don't think that's what we want to do here. I think we want to put our opponent on a clock. We have got double counter spell. If my opponent countered this, I would just let it go. Oh right, I have to pitch a card because of chains. That's pretty funny. I will just pitch a portable hole because I don't care about an oath at this point. I guess if my opponent resolves and Atraxa this turn, then I would want to have portable hole so I could PO. So that was probably wrong. I should have just pitched the Saga. Sorry. That was incorrect. So like the worst case scenario here would be like my opponent has Atraxa, Thoughtseize, Mental Mist. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. My opponent has a Chains of Mephistopheles in play. So I would have to play a portable hole on the chains and then plus PO. And my PO currently does not gain me any extra mana. Okay. I played this back section very badly. I don't need to like win the game on this turn. Like casting a 4th here is game winning. I didn't have this pearl in hand at chess. Like, good God. Come on, man. But yeah, I guess I should have kept Ruby up. My opponent doesn't play Wasteland, but they do play 1 Strip Mine sometimes. So, I should have kept open the Ruby for my Blast, and the rest was fine. I should have dropped this Saga instead of Portable Hole in case my opponent had a turn like Strip Mine my Red Source, Mental Misstep my Pyroblast, Thoughtseize my Force of Will or something. Like, that's very possible that my opponent, I guess it's not very possible because this is only Black Source, but like a line like that resolves in Atraxa here, I need to, I guess Portable Hole does not help me. Yeah, it does help me because like if I pitch this and my opponent resolves in Atraxa and somehow it doesn't have any forces in it or something, then I can Portable Hole the Chains of Mythologies and still have a PO backup plan. And the Saga doesn't really matter in that case. So I think the two things I would change here are I would just leave open this Ruby instead of open the land, which I didn't really think about because you don't usually get Strip Mined. You don't get Wastelanded, so you can only get Strip Mined. So they had to have like had a backup Strip Mine, and then I would have pitched Saga and kept the second hole in case I had like a backup PO plan. I don't think I wanted to go for like this is my only white source, right? So I don't think I would go for a Portable Hole, the Chains, and PO for 3. Like I don't think that's necessary. I think I would rather have more blue cards and go for the lethal Night Attack over 2 turns with double counterspell backup. I'm not saying like exactly misstep. I'm like saying some sequence that makes it so my counter spells doesn't work. Like having a PO backup plan for a sequence where this does not cover the thing is what I'm saying. Obviously mental misstep does not work here, but like say my opponent has Black Lotus, Thoughtseize. So it needs to be like 2 more cards. So it's like maybe it's like Flusterstorm, Atraxa, Flusterstorm. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It doesn't work either. But like something like that, you know, something that beats this and puts an Atraxa in play. I need to have a backup plan. Is what I'm trying to say. And I did not give myself a backup plan. Like Saga is not a reasonable backup plan against the things that would beat me here. So also like if my opponent, I don't know, if my opponent countered the tokens, I guess I wouldn't have drawn. I would have still had the Portable Hole, right? So like if opponent like counters the 4th Erlingas and then plays a Null Rod, so then I have 2 things I need to beat, and then I have to play like a slower game with maybe Lurrus or Trainer, but that's fine too. I don't know. But what I'm saying is like you should be playing around ways you can lose the game, even if you're super far ahead, right? Okay, here we are, round 4, up against Powerful Wizard Sprouts. Don't know if Sprouts is still experimenting with Murktide Regent Blue-Black. Should have no problem beating up against that. We do have Pyroblast and Swords of Plowshares. Though it might mean we board in less Portable Holes than normal. We'll see. I'm pretty sure they have the same record. Pretty sure they finished with the same record. I don't watch too much football these days, but if you say it's in 2 hours, I might watch some of it. Keep. What we got? What we got? Sapphire. It's pretty good. Tropical Island. Uh-oh, he's brewing. Uh-oh, the brewer's brewing. All right. Show me your secrets. Are we countering it? Are we hiding our secrets? Do it. Keep your secrets. Flusters. Oh, just Oath. Wow. Okay. Let's look at their next card as well. Atraxa? Okay. All right. Well, Saga Gaming. Thundertrap Gaming. Hmm. My opponent plays a land and they have stock up with force backup, and then they on the next turn they could theoretically have show and tell with Flusterstorm or oath with Flusterstorm backup. But I can't cast Flame of Venor. I'm definitely making constructs. None of these cards are particularly good. I guess I'll take this Lorien revealed. All right, I'm drawing an extra card. That's fun. Are we casting stock up? Looks like we're casting stock up. Are we protecting stock up? Probably. Force pitch Atraxa, maybe? Or probably force pitch negation. Oh, force pitch Atraxa. Leaving with negation fluster and the stock up hits. We're pretty far behind in this game. Opponent's hand was quite good. But the stock up could always miss like my stock up, so. No, he has one Atraxa, he just pitched it. His hand is force of negation fluster +2 from the stock up. We knew about the card from Bobble. Yes, that was the card in the revealed zone. I'm gonna try to play tempo here, see how it goes. Ancestral. It's not going well. My opponent now has 5 unknown cards in their hand. Black. GT. Thoughtseize. You got it. Probably just takes Chain. It's the most versatile of these spells. And he's got Flusterstorm already, so. I have to tempo this game, and Chain is a way I could theoretically tempo. I mean, maybe he takes Sync, but Sync is so much easier to Flusterstorm. I'm definitely like making construct, like playing Bobble or something, and trying to play a tempo like scavenge game here. Took the Chain, makes sense. And Oath. Damn. And has Flusterstorm back up for the Sync. What are my outs? What are my outs? I mean, I have to Sync, right? Get the Flusterstorm out of hand. Because there's a negation. If I draw... Wait, I can beat Flusterstorm, right? I'll have 3 mana, 4 mana... No. If I got Bobble, I don't beat Flusterstorm. I mean, there's a negation in my opponent's hand. Might not have another blue card, though. Yeah, I mean, I can tutor Vexing Bobble, but it's going to be tough. We'll see what I draw for turn. Might not have another blue card in hand as well, right? Like, it's possible that there's no blue card for this Force of Negation. No, opponent, he pitched the Atraxa to the Force of Will. We did not see one with probe and on the top. We just saw one with the on the top. Okay. Soul Guide Lantern. That card doesn't do anything. So I can get Vexing Bauble and cast Stock Up, but where does that get us, really? Don't know, but that's where we're going. Kind of needed to draw, like, Snapcaster Mage. I mean, I could buy Lurrus. And play Lurrus Bauble. I just don't think that's a winning line. Stock Up's gotta be closer. Like, what am I getting off of this Stock Up that can actually do anything? I, like, already lost my chain, which is, like, my best way. I could be, like, Tolarian Academy, Tolarian Academy Dress Down, I guess. Time Walk. Tolarian Academy Time Walk. Well, that's not gonna work because I'm gonna have to play a Bauble to resolve my spell, theoretically, here. And if I play a Bauble, I can't play a Lotus. I might have to play this turn like my opponent doesn't have a blue card. In which case, I would take Lotus and then cast Stock Up. I mean, I could take Mana Crypt and cast Stock Up. That's probably my most, like, I do have hits. If I go Vexing Wobble, Stock Up, I can hit Tolarian Academy Time Walk or Tolarian Academy Dress Down. I think those are just, like, the only hits, though. Whereas if I say that my opponent doesn't have a blue card and I go, like, Mana Crypt, Stock Up, then I'll have 3 mana left over to make plays with it. I think I'm supposed to just play this like my opponent doesn't have a blue card. And Mana Crypt's the best one for Mana Crypt's the best one for POing. Soul Ring's worse. No, they had a blue card. Okay. Soul Guide Lantern. There's no one card I can draw here. I guess I can draw Ancestral, so I should crack it. Soul Ring. All right. Yes. I think that was required. I feel like the number of possible hits there was just too low. They milled a few. They have a Demonic Consultation in their deck. That's interesting. Their hand, they hit Show and Tell. They hit Time Walk, so they're going to go again. They actually missed on a Force in this one, but then they hit Time Walk, so. So it's going to be... Those are all sorceries, so it's just Time Walk, Besage. It's kind of crazy. But he's just going to go again. I assume there's a Blessing in this deck. Though I'll get punished for cracking my Lantern if there's a Blessing and it's, like, super low. It was 3 cards down. And then this one has Flash Atraxa and Vamp. So that probably kills me. I think I made the right play. I feel like the number of hits was too low. Like, it had to be Academy plus 1 of 2 cards, which is, like, super low. Whereas if I just, like, play to my opponent not having a blue card, which is very possible, right? Very possible. Then I have way more hits. Consult doesn't really tell us anything. Like, you can theoretically play Consult if you, like, you know, play 4 Show, 4 Oath, 4 Atraxa. Like, it's totally reasonable. I would never do it, but I don't think it tells us really anything other than the opponent's playing pretty close to stock. Like, obviously, the console itself is not stock, but console makes your deck, the rest of your deck have to be pretty stock. Looks like there are 4 ponders, maybe, though. I assume we're taking Oath, Flash, Atraxa, and another Besiju, and a Mox. My opponent's going to do triple Atraxa. Didn't take the Oath. Okay. No, I've never seen anyone run console, but I understand the logic behind it. My opponent does not have to activate another time from here, so pretty much dead. They should just cast Flash and try to draw Force, and then once they have Force Besiju, they can't lose. Just kind of a unfortunate hand matchup. Lost my flip, so I do die on the next attack. I drew Ancestrals, so I was 1 card away there. So my opponent will flash an Atraxa here to find a counterspell. Well, it looks like they already drew a counterspell. They drew 1 for turn. Yeah, they drew 1 for turn. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'll like let them do this trigger, but then I'll just concede. Yeah, so let's see. I went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would not have 1 if I had stock up resolve. No, this Soul Ring was 1 as well. I could have taken Soul Ring. It would have been. I think I was short on mana though. Well, if I guess my stock up hit Soul Ring PO, it would have worked. And I would have PO'd these 3. Probably doesn't get there. Okay, another Oath matchup. Same stuff. We got good answers here. I like our matchup. I think our opponent's hand was just stronger than ours. What was the last card I was taking out? Oh, it was like Bobble on the draw, but I'm gonna keep Bobble on the play. I think Bobble on the play is good here. It's a bug show and tell deck. Take out 1 trainer. I think we put up a pretty good fight for being so underpowered compared to their draw. I don't really have anything else to say about this. Looks pretty straightforward. Same as our last matchup. I have a cat. His hand is fine. Not great, but certainly acceptable. Definitely not as good as my opponent's previous hand, or even my previous hand for that matter. But not really passing up a divination force of will hand here. That's not good. Mana Crypt's basically the best possible cards for this matchup. For any matchup, having a Mana Crypt is really important. Gonna go with the Surveil land here. Try to get some value. That's an interesting one. Probably supposed to keep that. Maybe not. I could see a world where you're not supposed to keep it, but kind of makes my deck work. Opponent is... I don't think I'm casting an upkeep, so... Probe. It's unfortunate. I'm looking at my hand for free. I guess I did that last game, so... Let's just stock up. Or they have show and tell with backup. If it is stock up, we probably are responding with Flame, draw 2. If it's show and tell, we are probably responding with Force Pitch Lorien to beat Flusterstorm. Again, my opponent knows my hand, so they're making this play with full knowledge of what I have. Show and tell. I mean, they could be baiting us as well, but I don't think we have any reason to, or any real way to do anything about that, so... Force backup. Had Flusterstorm. Wow. I mean, like I said, I played around this to the best of my ability. I think I made great plays. See what this can get us. Well, I can at least kill the Atraxa after, but... See how this goes. So what I'll do is I'll put in the Scalding Tarn. They'll put in Atraxa with the trigger on the stack. I'll fetch a Volcanic. I'll Pyroblast the Atraxa, but they still get a draw 5, so it doesn't really matter. My opponent's hands were just way too good in this matchup so far. Like, show and tell Mana Crypt hand is... I'm just never beating that. So this is Force, Demonic, Oath, Emerald, Orchard. Okay, yeah, we're just dead. Just draw 10. Oh, that's unfortunate. Probably don't even take Demonic. You take Force Ponder as blue card. You take Orchard, Mox, Oath. You slam Oath with Force backup, and then you win the game. And they know I have Thunder in hand, so... Game lost. No, like I said, I don't think anything... I think I made the correct plays in these games. My opponent's hands were just far too powerful for the hands I kept. And I don't think the hands I kept were mulligans. I think my hands were fine. They were low power hands, but they were the kind of hands that you want up against this deck. I don't have any regrets here. Especially this last play here where I forced playing around Flusterstorm, getting my opponent to pitch Flusterstorm. Pretty good play. I don't feel like I hit the right side of variance to win this tournament. I'm actually pretty happy because the last few streams I've been playing really poorly, where today I don't feel like I've been playing really poorly. I think I've been playing okay today. Oh, they took Demonic Tutor, Oath, Fluster, Forbidden Orchard, Emerald. Interesting. Interesting. Why would you do that? Why would you not just take Ponder Force? You know my hand. Kind of odd. Pretty sure I'm just supposed to get a Lurrus in play this turn. But I mean, I'm still super dead. They can go... Can't go Oath, Demonic, Time Walk yet, unless they have another Mox. I don't understand this. Maybe there's a good reason, but like you could definitely go Mox. Oh, I guess you can't get Orchard. Isn't that fine though? Like you just get an Oath in play and you have Force backup. And then like if you don't have to Force, you can still Ponder. Not sure. Do they keep on top? They kept on top. So this is DT. If they have a Mox, they can go walking here. Oh, wait, they don't need a Mox. I'm just wrong. They have a Mox. They have Time Walk Oath. Okay, that's fine then. I could have Mind Break Trap here. Oh, they went Show and Tell? I see. Well, I get an uncounterable Vexing Bobble, I guess. They hit Null Rod, but they can't play Null Rod because they can't take Mox or play Mox this turn. All right. Is there like a way I can go for a win on this turn with a Vexing Bobble in play? I feel like it's possible. I guess they could always just Besage you the Vexing Bobble and then have Force up. Yeah, never mind. They can't play a Null Rod, but Besage Atraxa, Force of Negation, Null Rod. Okay, so now they have Force through everything. I drew another land. I am drawing so badly. You think about negating this? Why would you do that? You have a Besage you. I don't understand that one. Okay. I'm just cracking it again. I don't really get anything by waiting. Okay. Well, I was never going to win any of these games. I've drawn almost half my lands. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have drawn more than I've drawn half my lands. And also 4 Mox. They just have hard cast negation from this point, so can't actually draw out of this. Nothing we can do. We had some pretty powerful draws earlier in the tournament, so all right. It's actually quite a good draw because it doesn't actually get negated. We've seen traps, so I'm just going. Oh, I guess there's a vexing bubble. I didn't crack the vexing bubble. I'm just gonna cast this. I think this might probably has to resolve for them. There's a dress down and a fourth Aerolingas. I mean, dress down could be pretty helpful here. They have Beseiju. I guess that can't be pretty helpful. But fourth Aerlingas is never going to be enough to attack through this. So it's probably still dress down. And scroll. Okay. Cracking it, of course. Card's not very good on the other side of the table here. I assume this turn we're getting null rotted. Yeah, the fact that this Beseiju covers dress down is very bad for me. I technically can get an answer, but I'm gonna get oh, they have time walk. Okay. All right. Not much I could have done there. Feel like that one is just the cards that were dealt. All right, onward and upward to round 5. We have a cat. We have a turn 1 cat. I like that. This hand is interesting. Let's see what opponent has. Another Oath player. Holy hell. Playing a Lurrus directly into an Oath that's resolving is not the best play. But we do get to resolve a Lurrus and then play a stock up. And we can loop dress down still, so... They also have Flash Atraxa, which we kind of need to hold open for on turn 1. Man, this is a tough spot. I guess I could play Lurrus and not cast something with the last Black Lotus mana. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stock up and see where to go from there. Instead of going Lurrus. Force, scroll. Now that's a stock up. I think I'm going to take... I mean, I could take scroll, walk, and pass with a Lotus. If they play an Oath, it's fine. If they play a Flash, we have it covered. I kind of want to take Force, but then what am I taking? I guess I could take Scroll Force. Scroll Force is probably better. But like, I don't really want to pitch Force to anything. I don't want to pitch Scroll to anything here. Take Scroll Walk and play Lotus and go. See what our opponent does from this spot. They have lots of options. They're just going to jam an Oath. That'd be fine. They're going to Flash. They don't have to put the creature in play, so this just baits out my dress down. It's a pretty good draw. So they still have Oath of Show stock up, but we now have a Force, and we can go Time Walk, Scroll if we want. Probably just go Scroll Ancestral, though. Maybe we go Time Walk, Scroll for a PO. I think I just like Scroll Ancestral. Okay. Opponent also still has to draw a land to cast any other 3-drops. They drew a land. So which one are they casting? Show and tell. I'm going to force this pitching Time Walk. Do want another Mox here, though. Also, I've lost every mana crypt flip. That's not great. Okay, there's a Mox. Huh. Not the best set of draws. Do I want to kick a trainer? Turning on Oath. I want to wait. Play a land that can't get strip mined right away. Buy Lurrus. Pitch this land to hand size. Hold open Flusterstorm for stock up. They drew another show and tell. Wow. We drew like kind of badly off of the POs, but that's okay. Happens. Should still be enough. Bobble. Lurrus cycles into different colors of mana from here. Let's kick a trainer. Even if they play an Oath, shouldn't matter much. Opal. Force, but no blue card. We lost every mana crypt flip this game, is how we're at 8. From turn 1, every mana crypt flip we lost. I have no blue card for Force. I guess this 4th Aerlingus is probably close to lethal. Yeah. I guess I could, but I can get wastelanded too. Just take this 4th. I guess I can't get no, I can get wastelanded. I guess I couldn't get wastelanded because I could just use all of my non-artifact mana. So I should have taken Force. It's fine. I didn't really see that happening, but that is something that could have happened here, huh? What if I just 4th on this turn? That's not enough, right? Maybe I should just dress down in case they draw a 3rd show and tell. So I really should have taken Force. Yeah, I really should have taken Force. Okay. That's my mistake. Gotta win on the game on the next turn. And I have other answers too, but this is 5 power, and then this is 4, 5, 6, 12, 12, 14. I have exactly lethal. I really should. Okay. Well, unless they strip mine me, but if they give me an extra token. Also, I could take like a bajillion damage here too. Accidentally hit heads, but it saved me 3 life. Stock up. So let's do the math again. I have a Black Lotus. I have red white. So I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I'm like not even close. So if I take Vexing Bauble first to play around a possible Force, which I guess they can't have. Let's see. Black Lotus. 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I can go Vexing Bauble, 4th Aerlingus. Interesting. Yeah, they had the negation. Holy hell. Wow. Well, played this pretty well in hindsight. Interesting game. My opponent drew show and tell and negation. Interesting. Weird. So my opponent shuffled on their ponder and then hit negation. I almost threw that game. It was kind of on a nice edge there. All right, another Oath matchup. Fire Blasts. Signs, Bauble, Lantern, Bauble, Opal, Island, Swords. All right. That was kind of cool. Do it again. Lots of Oath today, huh? Lots of Oath. This hand sucks. Doesn't have turn 1 Force and doesn't have any really strong plays after. We're 2-2. I think we played well today. Jesus Christ. This hand is not very good either, but at least it's something. That's not a very good draw. I don't think I'm winning this game. I think I'm Dredge. Strip mine. That's not good. Hit a land. And now I have a Meticulous Archive I can go get too, so. But this Mindbreak Trap's not looking very strong, so. Mindbreak Trap is not a very great card against my opponent's deck, but there are just a bunch of draws that you need to stop on the draw. And I just think it's worth having. Is it DT or is it an Oath? Just an Oath. All right. No creature yet, so. Also, we do have an answer in a portable hole. Meticulous Archive. Force. Force. I think that's fine. Because I'm not playing a trainer anyways. I'm going to play this hole now, though. They're going to negate the hole. The only reason you do this if you did have a... I mean, they didn't have a follow-up that turn. Then I can't really play my trainer either, so... I guess I'm forcing back. They're forcing back? So they pitch 2 Atraxas. All right. Not much I can really do there. Can't play my trainer anymore, but I have stock ups if I hit another mana source, so. They're looking for an orchard. You didn't hit a DT for an orchard, did you? Should play another Oath. My opponent's deck is not a fair deck. My opponent's deck is trying to play a turn 1 3 mana spell. My opponent's deck is an extremely all-in combo deck. Okay. Do I want this dress down? I'm not making constructs because I don't have an portable hole. My opponent is a show and tell Oath deck with 4 Atraxas. Can I beat an Atraxa that comes off an Oath if they draw Orchard this turn? I guess theoretically I can beat that with a Pyroblast. They go Mox, stock up. Mox, show and tell. Like, this is a thing that happens. Or they go Mana Crypt land, show and tell with force backup. Like, trust me, if I thought that trap wasn't good, I wouldn't bring it in. Do I think trap is the best? No, because they do have sequences where they don't play 3 spells. But, like, I'm on the draw versus a turbo all-in deck, I bring in Mindbreak Trap. I'm like thinking about taking land negation here because it's going to insulate me versus some things and also let me continue building out my mana, especially if I get null rotted. Also, like, if you get to the later point in this game where you're just hard casting trap against their spells, it's actually quite good as well. Another Oath is fine. We just won't play any creatures until we win with whatever. we're like super in control in this game unless they rip an orchard, in which case the game gets really crazy really fast. Don't think I'm going to use my Lotus. The hit orchard. The hit orchard. I can buy a turn with flame. I can't believe they just ripped orchard off the top. Buying a turn with flame, but not getting wizard value is very unfortunate. I guess I can start by POing. I can't really start by POing if they counter it, though. Just cast Ancestral to start. There's my 4th. I'm going to need 9. I'm currently at... I'm going to have to use my Lotus here, though. I kind of need to build up to a PO. Have I played a land this turn? I did. I played a Tundra this turn. I should have taken that dress down off of the, what was a stock up? I had an opportunity to take a dress down. If I had a dress down, I could take it an oath trigger here pretty easily. I mean, we can cast stock up. Just like a little bit on the risky side. But it's probably better than using our Lotus to cast Flame of Anor to buy a turn. And we do still have Pyroblast on Atraxa, even if it's going to draw them 10 cards. We have like Mox POs here. There's Mana Crypt PO. Yeah, Mana Crypt PO is exactly what we're looking for. Might win the game now. See what happens. I think I'm gonna fetch. Not the best PO still. Probe and not much else. Because it costs a blue mana. That's it's not. Well, that's a big deal. They have Beseiju. They should definitely have Beseiju to Mana Crypt there. They should definitely have Beseiju Mana Crypt there. Maybe they're looking to Beseiju my Volcanic so that I can't Pyroblast right away. So maybe fetching was actually really bad here. But if I drew my Volcanic, it would have been super bad for me, right? Looks like I missed. I mean, I do technically have multiple blasts. Decklists and stuff. So, I mean, maybe I can just power through it. We'll see. I'm gonna have to pitch multiple cards to hand size. And I need to keep last and fourth and academy. That's very hard to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pitching Tarn. Keeping force over trap and binning the other card here. No. I did not ever have the mana to have that up and do that, Wessel. I mean, I did. I would have to use my Black Lotus at the time. I don't have another blue. I'm out of blue mana. That's the whole point. That's the whole problem. He could get 2 Atraxas, but that might kill him. So, yeah, but I don't have another Volcanic, so if he just Besages me at the end of second main, or even at the end step to get rid of the Pyroblast activation. I'm going to take Force, and I'm going to take Portable Hole, because I'm going to put the Portable Hole into the yard. Like, I had the option of, like, buying a whole nother turn, but I didn't want to use my Black Lotus to cast Flame of Anor, so... my opponent just did not activate Orchard. So, they're fucked. Okay. I spent so much time that they got bored, which is fair. I've done that before. I think I have a pretty good chance here still. But this fetch was really bad into second Beseju. Actually, I just don't, right? Like, if I get my Volcanic Beseju'd, I just, like, don't actually have another red mana. Like, I can buy Lurrus, play Lurrus, and get back Black Lotus, I guess, but maybe that's enough. I think like, I'm not going to write this game off. Like, I don't think this game is, like, 100% lost, but it certainly doesn't feel great. It also, like, depends on how deep my opponent goes for their third and fourth Atraxa and if they have a Gaia's Blessing or not. And then if they Beseju me. Like, it didn't seem like they were willing to Beseju me. So, like, if they don't Beseju me off of Volcanic, like, if they don't know I only have 2 Volcanic, like, if they think I might have 3 Volcanics, that's great, Wessel. I don't think that card is very good. Happy you're having fun with it, though. Yeah, it's hard to say who would win this game if my opponent... Like, I don't think my opponent was going to Beseju me no matter what. So, if my opponent's not Besejuing me, then I think I'm probably favored. I think I'm probably favored if my opponent's not Besejuing me, because my opponent will flip into an Atraxa. And then I guess they might go for 2 Atraxas. But that'd be fine, I think. They flip into an Atraxa, I Pyroblast it, they get 10 cards, and then they flip into another Atraxa. But they're... I mean, it's a little hard for them to do that. There are only 2 Atraxas. And then... we do still have double Counterspell. No. I guess I have to let both Atraxa triggers resolve first, so that I can Pyroblast and look to attack for lethal still. 1, 2... So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have exactly lethal with Force backup. So it depends on which cards they hit off of their Atraxas. This game is, like, super close if my opponent makes a Orchard, and I think this game is unfavorable if my opponent Besages me in second main and then makes an orchard. Well, I guess if they Besage me in second main, did I have like another PO or something? No, I don't really have that. I also think if they had Besaged like the Mana Crypt, that might have been extremely good for them as well. Lots of options in this game. This is a pretty cool game, all things considered. And the only reason this game is remotely close is my opponent ripped an orchard on the last possible turn. If my opponent doesn't rip an orchard, I run away with this game. I don't have another Volk. They strip mine my Volk on turn 1. And I never hit Ruby or Opal, and I boarded out Opal. It's kind of a problem with this deck, but like I don't really want to play another Volcanic in my deck. It's such a bad card. So, but like I mean, I shouldn't have fetched this. I fetched this at a point in the game where I thought it would make sense because I didn't want to draw into it with my PO and then not be able to play it, right? So I thought it made sense to fetch it. And I think it does make sense to fetch it if my opponent's last card isn't but fucking Beseiju number 2. So it's like kind of awkward. Cool game. I'm sad that my opponent F6 through the stop, but can't do anything about that. I've been there. Welcome to round 6 out of 8. Lurrus matchup. Lurrus matchup. Let's battle. Let's have a nice fun one here. Solid hand. Good frog answer. Nice mana. Let's do it. Keep. All right. What you got, opponent? What you got? Show us the goods. Also, we have on-color Moxen, which is pretty nice. Okay. Bubble. What else? Okay. C. And probe. Illegal. Looking at my hand for free. Come on now. And on-color Mox. And frog? No frog. Probably Bowmaster then. Really strong starting draw whenever your opponent is on frog and has on-color Mox. Are they gonna attack this with a Spell Pierce? Could be interesting. No. I think they should have a Bowmaster. No Bowmaster. Okay, that's good. No frog, no Bowmaster. We got a counterspell they don't know about. Frog time? By Lurrus time? By Lurrus time. Interesting. I think we have to wait, and I don't think we're allowed to cast Stock Up either. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Because the opponent does have a threatening Lurrus here with the Bobble in the yard. Unfortunately, something we do have to answer. But they don't know about Flusterstorm, so. And I could let Lurrus resolve and swords it in response to Bobble, but that's losing a lot of value. I guess so is forcing, so. Let's see what we want to do here. We do have Snap Swords as well, so it could be worth it. We're a little behind because opponent was on the play. They know our hand. but it's anyone's game. Wasteland. That's a really good one. See if they go for Lurrus still, or they keep going. Frog. Okay. Definitely swordsing that. Mental misstep. Man, our mana base is looking a little rough. It's a pretty reasonable use of Flusterstorm, especially if they don't have another Wasteland, and we can hold everything up with Snapcaster next turn as well. Ancestral over the top. And they know about Force. And they still have Lurrus Bauble. That's crazy, man. This hand is so good. Wasteland, Bauble, Probe, Misstep, Frog, On-Color Mox, Ancestral. That's incredible. So if I force pitching Snapcaster, I no longer have an answer to Lurrus Bauble. And if I force pitching Stock Up, I no longer have Stock Up. So also, I think they might just have like a Daze follow-up here, or like, why would they make this play? I think it has to be Stock Up because of negation. All right, looks like I have won the battle for the stack. My opponent has a Lurrus and some unknowns. But they have a Bauble for the Lurrus. My buying Lurrus here is not particularly good. They know about Snap Swords, too. Kind of in a terrible spot. It looks like a balanced spot, but we're just so far behind because of the being on the draw and having the Wasteland and using a 2-for-1 on my Force. They have Snap Ancestral? All right. Well, I have Snap Fluster, but I still don't have an answer to Lurrus Bauble. Oh, boy. What a battle. This PO is pretty dead, too. They just, like, on card for card have had better cards than us. Unfortunately, like, I can buy Lurrus, but I don't have I don't have a Mistress Bauble, so. Wait, they're going Gataxian Probe. They're not even going Ancestral. Because they realize I have Snap Fluster. All right, well, I'm going to Snap Fluster this because it's going to make my PO better. Also, if I PO back my Snapcaster, I can hit the Lurrus with a Snap Sword still. All right. They have one unknown card and a Lurrus. I'm looking probably for Mox, Mana Crypt, something like that. Yeah, that's a good set of draws for sure. All right, so now my opponent gets to play Lurrus and resolve Bauble, and I fall extremely far behind. Not good. Not good. Need slightly different Magic the Gathering cards here. They have a free attack. They missed it. And what do we draw? We drew Force. They're just going to get incremental Lurrus advantage. Okay. I think we're Dredge. We can make it all up with like a nice Mana Crypt PO resolve, but by that time, my opponent's probably gonna have a Bowmaster. Our whole board looks better, but they don't give you points for looking better in Magic. Can't block, no attack anyways. And they wanted to keep their card on top because they did not fetch it away. Not a good sign. No, it's the Opal! Some attacking here. Let's see if they block. Then I can snap swords at least. Nah. Nah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they have like all bad cards in their hand. I guess that's the only thing we have going for us. Undercity Sewers, bidding a dead card, not bad. I think they have a Bowman. I think they were thinking like maybe they'll shoot, but then I'd still be able to play end step snap swords, so. Got it. Honestly, if we draw on Mox, there are worlds where we win. It's just every turn we don't get that, we are slipping away. Like Lotus is pretty strong draw too. Seeing my top card and they're pausing on my top card. What does that mean? What does that mean? Oh, never mind. I'm getting strip mined. Yay. Yay. They got a Black Lotus. All right. This is probably my last draw of the game here. All right. We're doing it, chat. Are we? Are we doing it? Opponent? Is it not allowed? What about this one? All right. What about... I think non-Lurrus cards come up. All right, what do you got? Is it Fluster? Oh, it's Bowmaster. I think if it was Bowmaster, I should have picked up my Lurrus. Because I could like theoretically let Bowmaster resolve if I had picked up my Lurrus. I mean, I could still let this resolve. It just feels silly. Yeah, this is fine. I think this has to just happen if I want to win this game. Oh, but it kills my Snapcaster. Ooh. Yeah, maybe that's bad. I don't know. I think Yeah, the fact that I can't like replay the snap off of Lurrus here is gonna be terrible. I don't know. Like I just like don't see myself winning this game if I'm forcing this Bowmaster, like losing a PO. But I don't know. Maybe I just like can't win this game anyways. Like if I had mana right now, I could flashback Snapcaster, but I definitely should have picked up my Lurrus. I didn't actually even hit a mana source that lets me play PO again. That's pretty crazy. But I mean, yeah, like I said, not picking up the Lurrus there was really bad. All right. Oh. I think I'm just looking for the win on the next turn somehow. Okay, mental misstep. That'd be really bad for me here. Oh, I might actually have to just keep this thing. Oh. I think I need the mana. I played this pretty badly. Keep that. I'm going to play a bauble, and I'm going to use the bauble to have force. And then I'm going to go to my next turn again and hope I live and hope everything works. Doesn't seem like it's going to. I am taking too much to even PO after this. This is kind of those games where you wish you had Vault Key in your deck as an out. Because like fourth is not or a breach kill. Like these are the games where a breach kill or a Vault kill actually feels a little bit better. Like game ones where your opponent has an active Bowmaster. The fact that we're even close to playing this game is pretty astounding. And I definitely messed up and should have drawn one extra card. Might have made the difference. Hard to say. This was always going to be a tough game, but gotta play tight. That makes sense. This is an attack for 13, so I can only draw a couple cards. Yeah. It's not great for me. Just like don't think I'm allowed to force that. Like, how am I gonna win this game? Well, if my opponent has no blockers and I cast fourth right now, it's not lethal. So I need not a good draw. Needs to be like I don't even have enough blockers if I do trainer kicked, unfortunately. Yeah, I think I might have just had to force the Bowmaster, sadly. I didn't want to force the Bowmaster, but maybe I just had to. It's like super tough because if like I force the Bowmaster and my opponent like has anything, I instantly lose. These cards are not great, but I can find Time Walk here. My plan here is stock up for Time Walk fourth and then draw Tellurian Academy. But like at some point, my opponent has to have some like forces in their deck, right? Like. It's tough. I definitely should have picked up my Lurrus, though, if I was going to cast PO. Just think forcing the... Yeah, they had double negation, like... They had triple force. Okay. So I think they probably just, like, let PO resolve then after I let the Bowmaster resolve. Because they'd only drew, like, 2 cards since then, so they definitely had at least a force. That's what I'm saying. Like, if I'm fighting over a Bowmaster, I think it's just not going to be winning. But like I said, they drew so many cards over the turns, so it was always going to be very hard. So here we're bringing in Portable Holes and Swords and Pyroblast. And we take out things that are bad against Null Rod. And we take out 3 forces usually. Could just be 4 forces. I like being able to tutor for a force, but it's kind of minor. I'd rather just have all the most powerful things here. I can keep 1 force and cut 1 PO. That's probably fine. I like this. Play some Jeskai control here. Hopefully we don't fall too far behind. I don't think Lantern is worth it, no. Why do you want Lantern? 1, my opponent is bringing in Null Rod, so it's just another dead card. 2, like, fighting over the graveyard is not a particularly valuable area to fight over. Yeah, I think keeping Manifold is fine. Like, you still want to have some amount of explosive power. But you could take out Mana Vault and keep it in a force or something if you wanted to. You want to be a little bit more like that. You could take out... You're gonna, any variety of like setups that look like this are totally reasonable. I personally don't mind keeping Mana Vault unless you have like some stronger lines, but I definitely can see taking out Mana Vault under the same like guiding idea of the sideboard plan. I like 1 force because I like to be able to scroll for a force like later in the game after doing things, but I don't really want to have any forces. I want to just 1-for-1 answer my opponent's frogs and draw spells and stuff, and then just work like that. I want to be the least affected by Null Rod as possible so that they're just like not doing anything with the Null Rod, and I want to be able to like play as many lands as I can and build out my mana and hopefully not get just like randomly wastelanded out of the game, which is typically their best way to win the matchup. Their best ways to win a matchup are like randomly wasteland you out of the game or have on-color Mox in and play a frog and you just like don't have an answer. And it's like really hard to not have an answer because you have so many answers in your deck. Like so many answers in your deck, but sometimes you just don't have an answer. Okay, let's try again. I think Mana Vault is like one of the cards you can cut for sure. Hand looks good. I think this matchup, like, I think it's very good. I think it was a little bit better when I had basic planes, but it's like a really awkward card, so it's a little sad. Mana Source here lets me stock up right away, which would be great. I missed. So I am just going to go get the tap land. And I'd probably keep any land on the top of my library here. That is acceptable. Let's see what opponents got for us. Nothing. Kind of an awkward spot to top because we won't be hitting our land drop if we don't cast Ancestral on our turn. And casting Ancestral on our turn into negation is like pretty bad. But I think we can just miss a land drop. We did time walk to get ahead of turn, so maybe we have earned that privilege. Also, opponent's quite far behind on the clock. And this deck does not win the game very fast, so that could be an issue here for them going into a possible game 3 if we can get there. All right, looks like they have Upkeep Ancestral. We have that covered at the moment. We'll see if they have backup. Seems good. I cast Stock Up while they're tapped out of Spell Pierce. They have negation. They have negation. What am I going to do about it? I mean, we had Misstep for Ancestral. They just had Misstep for Misstep, so. And we didn't start with the Ancestral in our hand, or we would have been able to do that to them. Unfortunately, we had to find our Ancestral naturally. If this resolves, I'm probably in to take, like... I was going to say, I'm probably in to take, like, land... and cast Ancestral. Trying to figure out if I want to cast Probe, though. I kind of do. They had Force, and they chose not to force... Chose not to force Stock Up. That's crazy. There's just no world in which I wouldn't force Stock Up here. That's wild to me. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to deploy the Vexing Bubble because they do have a Force of Will, and then we'll play around their Spell Pierce Frog, Force Bowmaster as best we can after that. I can't believe they didn't force Stock Up. I definitely would have. I assume they're just going to force this Pitching Ponder so they can draw into other forces? I don't know. Force, Pitching Ponder. So my opponent's hand is Bowmaster, Brainstorm, Saga, Delta, Frog, Pierce. See what they choose. They're going to hold open Brainstorm, Bowmaster, and Pierce. Interesting. I think I am just going to cast Ancestral Recall. Okay, so they're going to Brainstorm looking for a force. If I were to snap a Mental Misstep here, they would just Spell Pierce my Ancestral. So hopefully if they do find a force, it's not negation. Because I want to make my land drops and play the game. And I have the ability to force this through with the cards that are in my hand. So They did find negation, pitching Spell Pierce. I don't think my opponent knows any of my cards. I'm just going to go by Lurrus. It's like pretty unfortunate. They had to find exactly negation off of that for that to be good for my opponent. They're going to keep the cards they brainstormed. They kept Saga. Are they going to play Frog? No, they're going to hold open Bowmaster. Well, I mean, I had Ancestral. I had that. I had that. I knew my opponent's hand. Like, Ancestral Sap, Ancestral on my end step is, like, not really the strongest play. I think I like Snap Time Walk first. I think like I saw my opponent's entire hand, so I feel like it was a pretty good timing window. It really puts a lot of pressure on my opponent. Like it makes them forced to do things with like Bowmaster and Spell Pierce, and like they went all in on brainstorming to find exactly negation. Like if they found Force of Will, right, then I have Ancestral, like Snap Ancestral, right? It has to be like they have to have exactly. They have to go for brainstorm and have exactly negation in their top 3 cards, right? For that play to end up like any kind of bad for me, and even then, it's like still not that bad for me. Hard cast negation on my Time Walk? I see. Okay, sure. I mean, I don't give a fuck. We don't know that these are the cards in their hand, but those cards could be the cards in their hand. Gonna play out this Ruby and attack. If they want to trade this, it's totally fine. If they want to Bowmaster this, I can respond with PO. All right, I will play a Lurrus. I guess they theoretically could have drawn a Force of Will. We'll play a Bobble. I mean, I like the spot. I assume they're making a construct then, right? No, they're going for Bowmaster? Killing Snapcaster? It's only good if you remove the Lurrus. If not, I'm just snapping back stock up. I mean, I have that somewhat covered here. I should probably... I don't think they have a needle, so it's probably fine. Oh, they kept in Soul Guide Lantern. I see. Okay, yeah, I mean, that works. It means they got a Soul Guide Lantern off their Urza Saga, though, so it doesn't make me not unhappy about that from my side. Momentum Breaker! Okay, well, that went really badly for me. Okay, did not see that one coming, yeah? All right, so I'm on Swords the Bowmaster and assume that they don't have any counter magic for PO. I'm doing it now to bait like I have a Flusterstorm or something. I guess the Flusterstorm does not actually help me here. I mean, if they pierce it, it's fine. We can just PO through a Bowmaster. It's not that big a deal. So the question is, I think, Strip Mine. Sure. We don't know that they have a frog either. So do I crack this Vexing Bubble? I think they played this game pretty well. Interesting lines. I kind of like cracking Bobble. I can't beat. So like having a Bobble in play means any Mox and I draw I can't pick up right away, and I can't beat a Spell Pierce at the moment. So like there's definitely a downside to having this Bobble. Stock up. I'm doing that instead, probably. No, I should just PO now. If it gets Spell Pierce, it gets Spell Pierce, I think. They have Spell Pierce. Oh, they have Mystical Dispute. All right. Do they have Frog follow-up, or did they get rid of that to Brainstorm? They've had a lot of nice tech here. So they had to kill off Snapcaster to have this Momentum Breaker work, which is kind of funny. I could have probably played this a lot better. Surely this isn't Treasure Cruise, is it? Come on, that'd be really bad for me. Just like found the, oh, it's just Frog. Okay, all right. All right. They have one card in hand, so I think I should just crack Bobble here to try to find better ways to go forward. Trainer, I can't kick, so let's stock up. Kind of need a force, a swords or a pyro. Maybe I shouldn't have used this ruby then. I think I still need. I think I need to take Jet Soul Ring and go stock up into a swords. I don't think keeping the bauble is good. I don't know why you guys want to keep the bauble so bad. I think I have to have a swords here. That wasn't Spell Pierce. That was Mystical Dispute. I couldn't pay for either side. I wanted to PO before my opponent had the ability to play like Bowmaster or Null Rod or anything like that. I think it was PO was better than playing stock up. There's my swords and a portable hole and a Flame of Anor. Really good. Really, really good. Let's take I guess portable hole is better than swords here. And flame. All right, this is exactly what I was looking for from this spot. All right, so my opponent is on one card, one Orc Army, one Momentum Breaker, one Lantern, still has Lurrus, and I have Thunder Trap Trainer, a bajillion mana, and Flame. If I get Null Rotted right now, I cannot cast Flame, and I have one Volcanic left. No, they had Dispute. Either way, I think playing it at Pierce at that point in the game is fine, too. My opponent also has 6 minutes on their clock. And we have 10. Null Rod, wow. All right. Portable hole, the Null Rod. Probably worth it. Maybe I didn't want to do it right now because I can't actually cast Flame and I can't buy Lurrus. And now they can crack Lantern. That was probably bad. But also, like, resolving it is kind of important, so... Yeah, let them crack it for no reason. But I also, like, kind of want my mana. It's tough. I don't know the answer. Just more mana. So if my opponent has a Bowmaster in hand right now... It's super bad for me. I think I at least passed the turn. All right, I'm going to upkeep this. Draw 2 and destroy artifact. I guess this lets them hard cast negation on it. So maybe this was worse too. They had the Bowmaster and they held it. What a beast. That's crazy. All right. Well played, I guess. Ooh, I can chain my trainer here. Pretty good. Okay. It also means they get to hit me for 4 on this orc army. Because I went for destroy instead of just deal 5 damage. I can't believe they held it. Well played. We're still kicking a trainer this turn, so not too worried. Oh yeah, I could have sacked a land for the token. I mean, it saves me life. It's just like kind of sacking a land. Like it's not actually that good, right? Because like it's still gonna be a big token afterwards. I just saved 3 damage, like healing salve. Maybe I needed to save 3 damage for healing salve here. 4th Aralingas. Sink into stupor. If I were to PO on this turn, is my 4th Aralingas lethal? My 4th Aralingas might just be lethal without PO. Is that actually true? I don't know if it would have been a 1/1 after. It depends on how they order it, right? Like, they have to target my trainer, and then it would just come back and be a new thing. I don't know if what you're saying is correct. So this is 2 mana, and then this is 3, 5, 6, 7 is 14. So it's 1 short. I can PO and win, but I die to another Bowmaster for no good reason. I could just not play my Mana Crypt and play 4th for a smaller number. I could play around Spell Pierce. Their last card could have been Frog, but it is not Frog. So Okay. I don't know if I like how I played that game very much. I have to play this game pretty quickly on both sides. I don't know about that game. I'm like pretty tilted about my opponent not playing the Bowmaster, and then I played into it. Like, can you just afford to not play Bowmaster as the opponent there, not making any progress and not? Seems like really crazy, doesn't it? Like, don't you feel like you're gonna lose the top deck war if you're doing nothing? No, I'm not gonna change my board plan based on time. I'm just gonna play faster. I think forces are just so bad in this matchup. I mean, I think I could theoretically pass, but I don't think, can my opponent really realistically pass? Like, I guess if they're like, think I have a PO, they have to pass. No, I'm not bringing in forcible, chat. I'm not bringing in forcible. My motos, I don't have moto problems. This hand sucks. Ah, shit. Doesn't have a frog answer. I mean, it does technically have a frog answer, but... that seems good. It's a frog. It's a Bowmaster, sure. It's fine. I think that's fine. They're gonna have to have a wasteland in this game. Yeah, that's the whole way you win. Jesus. They play a frog here. I have a clean swords answer with bobble protection. It's fine. Fine. Strip mine. We have Twister covered. Another Bowmaster to stall. Lethal attack this turn. Another Bowmaster? Wow. Still have Twister covered. I really like how I played this last set. Cool match. I think opponent played really well. I think opponent might have played this set better than I did. I think I chose really well in this game what card to force. Like my opponent played Lotus, my opponent played Bowmaster, my opponent played Null Rod. I didn't force any of those cards. And then they have Ancestral Follow-Up. I forced the Ancestral Follow-Up and I went out. Like, my opponent, like, if they draw Strip Mine or Wasteland for my Saga, like, they're going to probably win this game. Especially with like, a triple Bowmaster draw and hitting that swamp the turn they needed to. But, yeah, I probably should not have topped this 4th Erlingas. That seems like it ended up being pretty bad. I was kind of thinking I would be able to like control the ground and it was going to give me a play if I did get my Saga Wastelanded, but it didn't really do that in the way I wanted it to. I guess I did get a Tundra Wastelanded, so I could have theoretically cast it for like 1 or 3 or 1 or 2, which would have been probably pretty good, but pretty bad against Bowmaster. So I think I shouldn't have kept that on top, but I like the way I played the rest of it this last game, so. Okay, here we go. Now we're in round 7 out of 8. We're up against very powerful Italian gamer Wiki. Probably a nice little Lurrus matchup here. Should be fun. Can I pull through? I gotta play a little bit tighter than my last round. I do think my last round opponent played better than I did. This is a good hand though. We need some more mana, but we'll see. First, what you working with over there, Wiki? Force, Frog, Dress Down, Daze, Spell Pierce, 1 land. I see. Okay. Guess I'm not resolving one of my spells here. Let's take out my top card. Force. Wait a second. Hold up. Wait a minute. Maybe I am resolving Ancestral. Will you use your force of will? Opponent has Daze, Spell Pierce, Dress Down, Frog, Negation, Will, C is their 7-card opener. Resolves. Kind of like that from them. Also, I drew no Moxen here. Not great. Scroll. All right, well, hopefully this trainer finds me a Mox. Or gets dazed. Getting dazed would be acceptable as well. Yeah, that's fine. Makes sense for my opponent if they haven't drawn a land, but means I'm not overdrawn. No Moxen, though. All right, so my next play. Scroll for Flame, maybe? What else are we doing here? I think if this gets spell pierced, it's fine too. I mean, I could misstep back here. Flame is just like not that good, but I think this is fine. All right, are they gonna jam frog or jamming frog? All right. I think I am just going to their turn again before I fight over this frog with a swords. But first I'm gonna go meticulous archiving. Lands are fine. I don't want to play into this negation, so I'm gonna go to their turn and then I'll swords this thing. All right. So we know they have Force of Will, Force of Negation, Dress Down, and 3 unknowns. We didn't buy Lurrus there. If I had misstepped, maybe I would have had a Flame of Anor I could cast here. Another frog. Time Walk. Yeah, I guess that's fine. I should have bought Lurrus. I mean, it's like really hard for me to buy Lurrus there when I need to like be able to beat like Spell Pierces and Flusterstorms and stuff. But if I had bought Lurrus there, I could go for Lurrus on my next turn with Bauble. So, but like that turn was super important. Like if I need to make sure that Swords resolves, and the best way to make sure Swords resolve is to pass with full mana. They put Lorien in the graveyard, and they go to their Time Walk turn. And he's played this really well. We know 3 of the 4 cards. I don't think we're going stock up. I think this is Lurrus. Well, the problem with the Lurrus here is I no longer have the ability to protect it with Flusterstorm, but if I draw any mana source, I can protect it with Flusterstorm. Jesus. My opponent had a 1 land start this game, and they've hit every land drop and with 2 wastelands. Ay, ay, ay. Wasteland is so lame. It's a good draw. Unfortunately, oh, they have a Spell Pierce now? Oh, they're going to negate this. I'll just fluster this negation. Obviously, this means I'm not playing Lurrus this turn, but it's, I think, a good 1-for-1. And I'm, like, pretty happy at the end of everything here. My opponent's hand is Force, Dress Down, and an Unknown. 2 unknowns after draw, and they can still buy Lurrus. 1 unknown. Buying Lurrus. I think we might actually be able to cast stock up instead of Lurrus here. I guess they could Dress Down if we go for Lurrus. I think I'm just going to cast stock up instead. I think the reason they didn't buy Lurrus is because they didn't want to... Yeah, because they wanted to Dress Down, which makes sense. Looking for like Mox here to like start working towards PO. They're just going to force the stock up, pitching a frog. I think that's fine, yeah. So they have 1 unknown, and Lurrus is still in exile. In the sideboard, I should say. So they will have Lurrus Dress Down loop, which is going to beat my Lurrus Bauble loop. Two unknowns. Soul Guide Lantern. Wow. Yeah, I think I'm gonna mental misstep that. Kind of glad I saved my mental misstep here. So they have one unknown and they're not buying Lurrus? Or are they gonna buy Lurrus? Not gonna buy Lurrus. Okay. I think I played this game pretty well in general so far, but this game has a long way to go, but we are at the advantage. We'll see how it goes. Buying Lurrus. Yeah. Here's our Lurrus, and we have a Bobble. Oh, we have a Thunder Trap Trainer. Fuck a Bobble, man. I didn't realize I had a Thunder Trap Trainer. How did a Thunder Trap? I got dazed. I didn't even realize I had a Thunder Trap Trainer. Stock up, PO. Take a stock up. So my opponent, if they have protection for their Lurrus here, is in a decent spot, but they don't. And they're out of here. What a cool game. I mean, I don't know about you, chat, but this is the vintage that I want to play. I want to play Lurrus versus Lurrus. Small incremental choices that add up to strong advantage. Like not mental misstepping early. How does that affect me later when there's a lantern? I think my opponent played really well. It was a cool game. So I'm going to do the same thing as we did last round where we played against Blue Black Frog. Take out the cards that are disadvantaged and bad against No Rod. And I'm going to bring in a bunch of this stuff. I think I'm going to play 2 Forces and 3 POs and take out the Volt this time. Try that. Yeah, that was great. Nice. Good job, James. Get there. I mean, they just have no spells worth forcing. All you want to do is 1-for-1 them with your 1-mana spells. Unfortunately, I can't just keep a nice 7 and play a nice fair game of Magic. Maybe my opponent will go with me. They are going to come with me. All right, we'll both mulligan. That's only fair. Ancestral again. Though not having being Ancestral on the draw is a lot harder to navigate. My opponent has, as you saw, Spell Pierce, Daze, Mystic Dispute, and those kind of cards. So I'm going to take out this stock up just because it's a little hard to resolve from here. Yes, Vexing Bauble is a card you want to be able to play to beat a Force of Will hand at different points in the game. It's a different use case than stopping your opponent's Moxen. I think I am supposed to cast Trainer here. It's like way too hard to resolve Ancestral. And this only gets beat by like Daze. Portable Hole, Merchant Scroll, Pyroblast. I'm gonna take this Portable Hole. Don't have a red mana. I assume this is going to be either a Lorien revealed or an Undersea Sewers. And then... No, you don't want to play Ancestral on your turn ever because of negation. They bin Dispute. Interesting. Oh, they're trying to hit a land drop. They don't have a land drop. So they probably have all permission. This one's a little greedy. Plays into Spell Pierce a little bit, but they might just negate this. If they negate this, then I'll probably Ancestral over the top. Spell Pierce. So am I willing to risk Ancestral on negation when they're tapped down Don't have a land. We have other follow-ups. It's fine. I think we can do it. Mental misstep. Pretty brutal. This is fine. We can get it back later with Lurrus. We've got double trainer. We're battling. I mean, this is exactly how I want the games to go. I want to be like outvaluing my opponent. Though this is a pretty good exchange for them. Oh, they hit the second land. 4 cards left in their hand. We've got Frog covered at least. Okay. Nice. I was gonna say we kind of want a Flusterstorm. They know about this portable hole. Do they have a negation over the top as well? They might, because they didn't have any lands. They do. So this Flusterstorm does save us. Pretty impressive. Exactly the kind of game plan that I was looking for, though. This is exactly how I want to play the match. They have 1 card left, and we still have 2 more pieces of draw in our deck, in our hand, and they're not even draw spells. They're put the cards into hand. See if they have a second frog, though. Null Rod makes sense. Probe. I lost 3 lands on this one. See what their last card is. It's a dress down. All right, well, if I don't hit a mana land, then I am kind of struggling here. Draw. They're just going to cycle the dress down. Makes sense. Trying to hit a land drop. Trying to hit a wasteland. They didn't. Still have 3 power of trainers. Hit a land. That's incredible. Such a good draw. Maybe I should have gone white mana for Lurrus. Probably should have gone white mana for Lurrus. That was probably a mistake. I'm gonna take. I should have fetched a second Tundra there. I was trying to enable like drawing Flame of Anor, but maybe that was a mistake. I like full permission, force portable hole. I think this just like covers us on the things that are gonna stop trainers from winning. 3 attacks to win. Blue walk is fine. 1 card in my opponent's hand. Got there. I mean, that is, I think, textbook reasons why you want to play this deck into a blue-black Lurrus metagame. I think this is a pretty good example of what you want from the matchup. I do think I got lucky, right? The Flusterstorm was very lucky, but it does line up with what I was looking for. Opponent did have full permission hand, looking to use the Surveil land to find their second land, and they were able to have Misstep, Pierce, and Negation to hit all 3 of my things. So kind of an interesting setup, but I think a pretty good demonstration of why I like to play this matchup and why I continue to play this deck. So, okay, chats, welcome to the 8th and final round of this vintage Super RCQ. We've battled back to a nice 5-2. I'd love to finish it at a 6-2. We have terrible breakers and position. We can't really top 8, even though 1-5-2 will top 8. We'll be lucky if we win and top 16. But we're going to try our best anyways, because that's what we do here. I have a cat. Opponent has a cat. So we battle. Yeah. I think, what did we play against? We played against him yesterday. Trying to remember what we played against. Run played blue-black Lurrus to a 1-2 draw. All right. This hand seems fine unless I get wastelanded. Surely they won't wasteland me after I get a head on Soul Ring. Do not get wasteland. That's a volcanic island. That's interesting. Ancestral Recall. It's a pretty easy force. And a ruby. Let's take a quick peek and see what opponent's working with here. Underworld Breach, Gifts Ungiven, Dig Through Time, Demonic Tutor. Okay, we drew our main deck Soul Guide Lantern. Let's go with Stock Up, looking for mana. That is awkward. Sapphire and Force. And a Lantern. All right, so what's my opponent's plan now? DT, but you can't DT for Ancestral. Drew Sapphire, so it can cast Gifts Ungiven. It's pretty good. Looks like that's the plan. I think I just counter Gifts Ungiven. Maybe I don't care. Oh, they're going to DT? I think I just countered DT then. And just go for PO. Because I know their whole hand. Mox is our best draw. Tundra's fine, I guess. Those are probably not my best cards that I could have here. See if this... It's going to be hard for them to kill me through Lantern here. And then I will have Lurrus Lantern. We'll see. We will see. So what is your plan with a Dig Through Time, a Gifts, and a Breach versus an active Lantern? Concede. Yeah, that's about how I feel too. Don't show Sean. All right, quick and easy. Playing against the Drain Gifts deck. Pyroblast are good. Lantern is good. Trap is good. Negation is fine. Island is bad. I actually don't mind. Swords are bad. I don't mind the looping cards here to make Lurrus good. Vexing is good. Dress Down is good. Could cut Chain. I actually think Opal was pretty good in this matchup just to get ahead on mana. I think I can cut Sync and I can cut Chain. I like that. Chain's still fine. Like, Chain's always fine, but it's not that good. All right, run it like this. Is my opponent 5-2? Yeah, they are. Okay. Main deck Soul Guide Lantern did some work in that game for sure. All right, Cat. It's a pretty reasonable hand, though you do want to hit land drops in this matchup. You're going to need to keep your mana advantage, play around mana drain and such. Another Sapphire. Saga Gaming. Got that covered with our Dress Down. Oh, and Mana Crypt. Pretty strong opener from the opponent here. And pass, not buying Lurrus, means they could have a Gifts Ungiven as well. All right, well, let's see what you have. They have Mana Drain, Fluster, Chain, Demonic. Okay. I will get a Mana Vault down. see how they play this out. Wonder if they'll go constructing. Lost a flip. See if they draw mana for turn 2. If they draw a blue source, it gets a lot better for them. They'll be able to hold up drain. They did not draw a blue source. It's really good for me, especially if they go double construct. All right, let's play a bauble. Let's get more information. There's the vault coming. I'm gonna pass here. Hopefully my opponent goes for double creature. Lost another flip. They're making a creature. I respond to this with a dress down. Creatures are dead. I draw another card. My opponent gets to tutor, probably for a Lotus. And then they'll play Volk, and they'll have Fluster and Drain and Chain up. And they have DT in the waitings. And then we have to play out this turn very carefully, figure out how we want to play this. If we kick a trainer, the drain only is 2. But we will expose ourselves to Flusterstorm on the next turn. They didn't buy Lurrus. They're holding open drain. And we know 4 of their 5 cards. We definitely are not playing a stock up into a drain here. The question is, are we playing anything into a drain? I don't think so. I think we're just going to buy Lurrus. So unless their last card is they drew as like a gifts or something, I don't think I care. And we have a bauble and a dress down in our Lurrus pile, so it's very threatening. Though they have a drain, of course. They do have an active mana crypt as well. They want to flip, finally. They've been losing all their flips so far. So stock up off the top. Can I fight over stock up? If they were to drain this, it'd be pretty awkward for them. I think I'm just going to force this, pitching stock up. It's a close game. They just had like a really high mana start. Oh, they are going to drain this. I mean, so if I force back, they have a Flusterstorm that I can pay for, so seems good. Flusterstorm does not cover Lurrus. I have 5 mana. They could chain something to get Fluster up. Yeah, that's true. They're going to do it. This means they don't have, like, they're going to have to draw, like, their stock up is going to have to be blue land gifts, right? Like, or else this doesn't do very much. Also, what are they targeting? I guess they're going to target everything on this force. Okay, I mean, they had, like, infinite permission, so So they resolved a mana drain on my force. They're resolving a stock up. Their hand is DT, 2 unknowns, and stock up. I guess that's pretty bad for me. But like, what was I gonna do? Like, I have to like do something, right? Oh, there's a mana crypt. So it's just a DT, mana crypt, 1 unknown, and then a stock up. And they're getting it 5 colorless. So they need to find like blue card gifts, right? Or just gonna buy Lurrus? That's so good for me, right? I mean, they probably found like blue card force to hit my Lurrus here. Vexing Bobble would be a sick draw. Tundra would not. So I'm just looking for a payoff here, like a PO or a counter spell or something like that. Scroll. Yeah, scroll will do it. We can scroll for Flusterstorm. That was a peak Mystical Archive, getting rid of a bad card. If I get a Flusterstorm, my Lurrus always resolves here. And I get an extreme advantage. Yeah. I really like this, how I played this one out. Force, pitching gifts. Fluster, your force. Their hand is Demonic Tutor, Mana Crypt, 2 unknowns, I think. I have a Resolve Lurrus. I have a Bauble. I get to know their next card. It's a Soul Ring. They currently don't have a black source for Demonic Tutor, and I have a Snapcaster now. They have a gifts, a second gifts maybe. They have a stock up follow up. They have a Merchant Scroll for Ancestral. It's pretty good too. Okay. So this Merchant Scroll could hit Ancestral, and then this could hit a black source in DT. Could die here. Also, just like an Underworld Breach is probably lethal here as well. This is all like Prophet of Mana Crypt, Sapphire. Nice. Tapped Surveil Land. Are they not playing the Soul Ring? They drew the Soul Ring, right? I'm not crazy. They drew the Soul Ring, right? I'm kind of confused. Negation's a good one. I think this is just Mishra's Bauble and pass with counter magic, attacking with Lurrus. Drain is a pretty good draw. Oh, I guess my Snapcaster is not counter magic because I don't have enough blue. I guess if I draw a blue card to pitch. I did not draw a blue card to pitch. That might be game losing then. Huh. Could I have done something about this? I think we just lost here because they're going to DT and then they're going to drain me. I just don't have enough blue mana. Wait, really? I lost from here? Fuck. Snapfuster what? Like, it doesn't help me. Wow. Seriously? That doesn't work, chat. My opponent has Fluster in their yard, Black Lotus. Like, it just doesn't work.
Wow, that's crazy. Can't believe it. I thought we were in the clear there. They drew Mana Drain at the perfect time and we lost. I drew Opal on their turn! I guess I had to go for Snap Scroll PO. I just thought I had enough to be fine. Damn. No, I mean, I think I had to go. How much mana? I mean, I had enough mana, right? So I could have just gone Snap, Scroll, PO. Yeah, I mean, that's like way better. Why didn't I do that? I just threw the game. I think we're hitting the end of my Steam bucket here. Damn. No, I should have just scrolled for PO. Yeah, I mean, I just threw it. I was just like, thought it was over, and I just didn't think very hard here. Damn. Okay. All right. I had to actually go for a combo line. I thought I could just like attack with the Lurrus and have 2 counters, but I didn't. The problem was I didn't have 2 counters, right? I thought I had 2 counters, but I didn't have 2 counters because I didn't have quad blue. So I just like was too fast and made the wrong play. I just thought I had 2 counter spells and I didn't have 2 counter spells. Damn. Fuck. I mean, it was a tough game to win no matter what, but I think we actually got to the point where it was winning. What am I supposed to do with this? I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a time vault, a mana vault on turn 1. Fuck, man. Yeah, I mean, like, PO probably wins there. It's not guaranteed to win, but PO probably wins. Another Sapphire opener? Oh, fucking hell, man. What is this? Yeah, all right. I guess we're just dead. That sucks. It's a tough way to go, but I did throw it, so. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Crazy. I mean, this is just a top 0.0% hand. What am I going to do? Now they have Drain open. After casting 2 blue spells on turn 1, they have Drain open. They drain. I can technically still Flusterstorm, right? I guess they can have a Force plus pay. I think we're just dead. I'm just not beating this hand. I needed to win game 2 when I had a chance. Oh, they had Flusterstorm backup. Okay, yeah, I mean, we're just dead. I mean, this is so frustrating. This is like why you have to win the games that are close, that you have opportunities to win. Oh, he's just Flusterstorming my stock up, yeah. I guess that means he's not getting drain mana, so maybe there's still a chance. But we're actually like almost dead on the spot to a breach already because of how powerful the hand was. Yeah. I mean, what am I supposed to do, man? It's just too broken. I need to win game 2 when I had a win on the fucking play. In the just needs to hit any blue source and can cast a second ancestral. Ah, that's what happens when you're playing 7 hours of Magic. You just throw it away. So sad, man. So sad. I mean, like, this game is like fine. Like, it doesn't matter. This game is completely irrelevant because it's just a high roll game. It's all about game 2 when it's a close game, back and forth game. Both players have a lot of power. That's the game I need to win. And it was pretty clear cut too. Like after I saw mana drain, I just like dismissed how much blue mana I had. Just have to hope they have nothing. Nope. Red blast off of Ruby. All right. That's a bad way to end the fucking tournament, but like I said, I just made a mistake at the end there and threw away a game I could have won. No guarantee I would have won off after POing, but definitely a high chance of winning. So, it's a 5-3. Like I said, I felt like the 2 early losses were pretty far out of our control. We had a couple of nice wins against Blue-Black, and then that game I definitely could have just won. But I made a mistake and threw that one. But overall, I think we played seven good rounds of Magic out of 8, which is pretty good. And I think our deck was fantastic. Like, this deck is super well positioned. It's super well built. It covers every avenue. I played against 0 mono white, but I did play against 2 blue black. So like the swords were maybe a wash. I think I would have rather had like 1 less swords and 1 more other card. But in general, I think I would, if I had to play this deck, if I had to go back in time today and re-register and play again, I would play this deck again. It's right up my alley. It plays really well, has all the answers that you need. And sometimes you just need to have the variants line up in the way you want. And also when the variance does line up, you need to be able to capitalize by playing well. Unlucky. Did not get to keep up the good play for 7 hours. That happens. But like I said, again, 6-2 here was not going to be anything. Maybe it might have top 16'd. Might have been able to get a couple more boosties or something like that. But now we might just be completely out of prizes. Maybe probably be top 64, maybe. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this high stakes vintage action. We do have more coming on this channel in the future. 2 weeks from now on Sunday is the next vintage showcase. I am still trying to top 8 one of those and try to get my way back onto the mocks via vintage. More vintage content on the YouTube channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll see you then.